Hey guys, welcome back to Auto Repair guys. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. Today will be super helpful video guys. If you have a BMW guys 3 Series generation F30, F31, F34 and you need to remove the timing chain for timing chain replacement. Now before we start, let me tell you a little bit what we do guys. If you need to buy any tools, parts, anything for your BMW, check out the link in the description of the video below and you can see where we get all our tools and parts from for a really good price, quick shipping as well. You can find almost anything there. Another thing, every single car we get at the shop, we try to make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos, specifically on this generation BMW. We'll be having more than 500 videos. Why guys? Because our mission at the shop is to save you as much money as we can. All we need guys in return, please don't forget to give a like if the video is helpful and subscribe to the channel. This is the 3 series that we have right here. Now some of those, as you know, they're prone to timing chain failures, and this one failed at 71,000 miles. Timing chain guide broke here, here and here, and one of them completely exploded at 87,000 miles. And we have a special video that explains which vehicles are affected, and I'm going to put the link in the description of the video below to know if your BMW will need the timing chain replaced guys. Also, if you have that generation BMW, check this channel out, Electrical Car Repair Live. That's our second channel. That's where we'll be posting most of our videos about diagnostics, engine codes, fixing engine light and things like that. This is the new timing chain kit that we have. Every time you replace it, you need to install new crankshaft bolt, and it's even recommended to install new camshaft bolt as well guys. It's up to you if you're going to do that, but otherwise you can seriously damage your engine, and we're going to put links for everything that we use in the description of the video below. Please check it out. So now guys, okay, in order to remove the air filter box, now you gotta stay until the end, because if you don't do something right, okay, you can damage your air filter box and that will cost you quite a bit of money. Many people actually break that connection right there, vacuum connection, and that could be expensive things to fix. So remove your engine cover. It has 3 rubber bushings, one on this side, okay, and then it slides out this way at the same time. Okay, perfect, like that. Now what you're going to do, you're going to remove that cover all the way guys, all the way. Pull that thing out, okay, perfect. And you can see that hose right here, okay, that hose right here will actually need to be removed guys. So this hose is the one that we need, and remember how it goes under the wires, okay, that's the hose that we need. That way you're not going to break your little thing. And when you're removing it, careful not to break that tab here. It's super simple to do it, and if you break it guys, okay, you will need to replace your valve cover, and we'll have the video and the link where you can buy one guys, so check it out if that happens. So disconnect that hose that goes, okay, through the air filter box. Check it out, perfect. And you can see now, okay, what else we need to do. We need to go ahead, okay, gently pull the hose out, and here guys we need to disconnect the hose and that hose, the intake hose, and we need to disconnect the wiring harness for the mass airflow sensor. You press right here, you pull it out, perfect. Now we just have that hose that we need to disconnect right here with a flathead screwdriver. So if you guys need help with anything, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. Perfect. This one is coming loose. Okay, let's see if it's loose enough. Probably it is. Now what you will need to do at that point, you have 3 rubber bushings, 1, 2, 3. Grab and pull it up, okay, with 2 hands, so that way you don't break your box. Okay, almost came out. This one is a little bit tighter due to the fact, okay, it does come out, but it's just a bigger tap right here. Perfect. Okay, it came out. Now right here guys, okay, we'll need to come a little bit, okay, let me see how up it just slides up. That's where it sucks the air, okay, from the kidneys. Okay, now this hose is still holding here, so it looks like, okay, it's still not coming off. Okay, this hose is still having some tension on the box, so let me come this way a little bit, okay, and see. Okay, I think we need to get the screwdriver and just pry it out gently. Careful not to break it. Grab it. Now that hose is going to come out. That's a piece that can break easily. Okay, and this one has been repaired in the past, so we'll have a video actually on the channel how to fix that one if that happens. Always cover your intake side. Okay, right here, and you can see the air filter box came out of there just like that. So next step, what we need to do. Okay, let's explain here now. We need to actually get that cable out. Okay, let me see where that cable goes. Okay, all the way through here. And what cable is this one actually? It goes... Okay, I'm trying to see where it goes. That's a positive, looks like it's a positive cable. Yep, so it will be actually even a good idea, guys, if you disconnect your car battery, okay? So you actually don't cause any damage if you wiggle wire out, positive wire, not attach it to ground or anything like that. On these modern vehicles, it really matters how you disconnect the car battery, which terminal you disconnect and reconnect first, otherwise you can end up paying thousands of dollars in damages, and we've done that, believe us. So we're going to remove, okay, we have here a few nuts that you just turn very little, okay, very little, and it will start coming loose. Okay, you can see they're like clips. Let's turn them on the other side. You can see they're clips, guys. Okay, they stick out, and here if you pay attention, okay, if you pay attention, there is a thing where it aligns, okay, for locked and unlocked. Okay, so right here and here as well, and ours, this one, it should be the other way. We just jumped it, so we need to actually take care of that. You can see if it's locked, okay, that's fine. If it's locked, they point towards each other. If it's unlocked, they will be 90 degrees off. Perfect. Now we need to actually do the same thing, okay, to the other side now. So again, okay, let's see which way we go. Counterclockwise. Yep, counterclockwise. You go 90 degrees, guys, on these nuts. Perfect. And we'll be able to lift this one up as well. You can see, and you can come to your window motor here. The ABS module, all that is here. Brake fluid, okay, you can see window motor, brake fluid, brake booster, ABS, traction control module. You have a vacuum line for the brakes right here, and quite a few things. So now let's remove, okay, a few more things here. We need to remove that so we can actually get to the bolts for the support bar here. Okay, we need to see what else we need to do. Here we need to get a big Torx wrench, and right here we'll need to open these caps, okay, with a screwdriver somehow. Okay, and we have a big, okay, you can see a big bolt with a Torx, a reverse Torx actually, there as well. So the two caps are out. Now I need to do the same thing to this side here. Okay, but here we have a clip. Okay, the other one I guess was missing the clip, so that clip needs to come out in order to be able to pull that thing out. But let's see if it's in the way. It's not even in the way. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll need to remove it. So now we're going to actually remove that clip, guys, because that will need to come out. So you can just get a screwdriver, okay, and gently pull it out just like that. Okay, so let's just get the clip out. Perfect. Now you just pull out a little bit and then pull the rest of the clip and it comes up. So now reverse Torx, guys. Okay, let's see which one is this one actually. So reverse Torx 18, that's what it looks like. We'll put the link in the description of the video below where you can get the tools from. So we're going to pre-loosen this one. It comes by hand, super easy. Okay, you can see, and then we have one on top. This one, okay, let's see if we take it all the way or we just get it loose. I don't remember how they were. Okay, so we're going to inspect it. Maybe we take it all the way out. Yep, we do. Because on the BMW 5 Series, we did a timing chain replacement recently. We had to remove this and you just get them loose. Okay, you don't actually, guys. Okay. And that whole thing will come, both of them are together. Yeah, the two pieces are actually together. So we're going to see now how everything is going to come up. Perfect. Then we have just one more bolt there. If you have any specific questions, recommendations, always guys leave a comment below. And even if we don't have time immediately to make a video, many of you will help each other, I noticed that. So now we can grab that, okay, and pull it out. You can see this is the brace support for the front strut towers. It's out of here now. So next guys, we're going to get, okay, let's see what we're going to get. 10mm socket now, and we're going to remove, okay, a few bolts that we have right there. Super tight, they are tight, since the little impact even cannot get them loose. So we're going to pre-loosen those. Or let's see. Perfect. And then we can actually go ahead, or maybe our impact was on getting them tight. Perfect. Then we have one more over there. Careful not to drop them. Amazing. 3 are out. Now we need to come on this side. We have here actually 4 guys, from what I can see. We have one over here that we need to remove. Okay, let's see if we will be able to get that okay, that seal out. Great, one is out. 3 more. Okay, we will probably need to remove the brake vacuum line. We'll see in a second if it's in the way. To make sure we don't break it, correct? So now we're going to open that cap, make sure we don't have anything there. Okay, and it looks like this thing slides out here. On the other side it may need to be lifted up. Okay, and the lower the windshield cowl trim piece, also known as engine trim, is out, guys. You can see like that, and we have so much work to so much place to work on that BMW now. So it's out. Before you start, you will be working with fuel, so you need to avoid spark, guys, because you can catch yourself on fire. Also BMW, guys, it has a self-priming system, and what that means, if you remove the fuel pump, it may detect low fuel pressure, or when you open your door, or every so many minutes, the fuel pump will activate and pump fuel, and it can spray fuel on you, on your car, and you can catch on fire. You have a fire extinguisher on place and disconnect the car battery, so that way the fuel pump will not work and you will not have spark. On these vehicles, guys, modern vehicles, it really matters which battery terminal you disconnect first, positive or negative. How you know which one, positive or negative? In order, guys, okay, to avoid expensive damage, and I'm telling you that because we spent in the past $2,000 to fix a Mercedes because we didn't disconnect the car battery the correct way. And we burned an engine, we burned a computer, guys, that cost us $2,000. Guys, disconnect the car battery the correct way. We have a video on the channel, and I'll try to put the link in the description of the video below, which battery terminal to disconnect first on BMW F30. So after you do that, we need to remove the upper engine cover. Okay, and it's pretty simple. You know about your upper engine cover. If you don't know about it, we have a specific video that explains that. It just attaches to 3 spots right here. Okay, you can see, and one spot over there, and you may even have a foam piece here, insulation. Now we have the engine cover here removed because we'll be doing actually timing chain replacement on that car as well. But in the meantime, we want to show you how to remove and replace high pressure fuel pump. So you don't have to remove your cover here, but it will give you more room. If you want to see, the video will be on our channel, how to remove engine cover trim on BMW F30. We have the car battery disconnected, we have gloves, we have eye protection, fire extinguisher on the side, and this guy right here, this is our high pressure fuel pump, guys. When you remove it, you will leak some fuel out, so be prepared. Now, things that we need to do, we need to disconnect that sensor, okay, for the pump, press and disconnect, just like that. Next, guys, we need to disconnect, okay, these lines right here, okay, these fuel lines. This is the feeding line coming from the low pressure fuel pump in the fuel tank. This is the high pressure side that goes to the fuel rail and the direct fuel injection. So 17mm wrench, and we're going to go ahead and disconnect these two, okay, pretty simple. If you have any questions, recommendations, always check the videos on our channel, we may have an answer for that, or leave a comment below and we will try our best to actually make a video for your problem. If we're busy, we can get to it right away. Sometimes even when you leave a comment, I notice we're forming a really good community where people help each other in the comment section below. Perfect. Next, we're going to get a Torx, okay, this one will be Torx 40, I believe. Let's see if it's 40 or 30. Which one is this one? Torx 30. Start looking a bit like this one. You can see, and it goes, okay, in these bolts over there. So let me come on this side so we can easily reach the bolts. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead, start getting those loose. And that's where the that tappet, also known as the tappet for the fuel pump, is. That could be a weak spot on those sometimes, guys. They sometimes wear out for high mileage cars. You can see it's spring loaded because it really depends on which side of the camshaft the pump stopped. Okay, second bolt coming out, perfect. Now we need to remove, okay, let's see if that thing is going to come out, this bracket. And later we need to pull the lines barely, a little bit, don't cause any damage, gently pull the pump. Now your tappet, guys, for the fuel pump, that's your fuel pump. I'll recommend to remove the tappet as well. Okay, it's this one right here. Sometimes they get wore out as well, always inspect them. Okay. Okay, I need to pass it to somebody so I can focus quick. Okay, let me show you, that's what they look like, guys. And always inspect everything here, wipe over the dust, make sure that you didn't contaminate it. But you can see, okay, this is the pump, this is the tappet, this is the whole assembly. So we need to disconnect the cable for the Valvetronic motor. You have two clips, press here and gently pull straight up. We need to disconnect that cable. Okay, those are always fun. We need to just get a small screwdriver, or you can just pull them, okay, from the valve cover, or you can open it. Careful how you pry on the valve cover because that's a breakable cover. Perfect, that wire is out. Now we're going to remove, get the lines loose. Okay, the first thing will be to get the fuel rail lines loose. So let me see that 17mm wrench. Get this one loose. Careful not to break your sensor with the wrench. The way it's slipped, you can break your sensor. Okay, you're going to leak fuel out, guys. Okay, you're going to leak fuel out probably, but since we have the pump removed already, we will minimize that, but you'll still leak some fuel out. Again, have the fire extinguisher on place. Disconnect the car battery before you start on it, and it really matters which battery terminal you disconnect and reconnect first, unless you want to damage your electrical system and spend thousands of dollars on repairs, guys. So you can see now I'll recommend to use gloves, eye protection as well, for that part, due to the fact that you're working with fuel and you don't want that on your hands. Great. Now, next step, we're going to remove 4 more bolts right here that hold that fuel rail to the valve cover. That's what's going on next. So let's do that. This one will be with 8, I believe. It's a reverse Torx size 8. So let's go ahead and see. Yep. They're just screws, not even bolts. Pretty simple. Okay, comes out. Great, just like that. Alright, removing these ones now. Perfect. Now, up. Be careful, don't do what I do. They will be stuck. Great, you grab it. And now we need to pull the fuel rail up carefully. Don't put anything, dirt or stuff like that in the fuel injectors because you will damage them. This is your complete fuel rail assembly out of the BMW, came out just like that. Now, with that being said, let's explain what we need to do now. We're on the back side of your engine. Okay, and this is the pump right here. You will first need to disconnect. Okay, the first step will be to actually disconnect. Okay, right here you need to disconnect the line. So you have 2 places for that vacuum line where you need to press and pull it out. Okay, one is here, one is 180 degrees. Press towards each other, it will release 2 teeth, one here, one there, and just pull it out. Now, I removed one of the bolts, guys. I removed one of the bolts, so I want to show you what it looks like. This is the bolt. You have 3 of them that hold the pump in place. You will notice that we don't have the fuel system in place. That's because we'll be doing a timing chain replacement, but you don't need to remove fuel pump or anything like that. Just the upper engine cover and the fuel bay, the engine bay trim, excuse me. You will need to get a Torx 40 short socket, okay? Or if that doesn't work, get just the bit itself and get, guys, a 1/4 inch wrench, and you can just use that to get the bolts loose. Otherwise, okay, otherwise it's not going to work out. So what I already did, I got, guys, okay, one of the bolts out. I'll remove the other 2 and we'll show you where everything is located. So I got one already loose, guys, as I told you. I'm gonna get the T30 and I'm going to try to attempt. Okay, excuse me, you might hear a little bit of static. That's because my microphone just fell. But okay, I'm just removing the second bolt now, guys. Okay, second bolt is going to come out soon, and we're going to remove the 2 bolts that we still have left, and we will continue, guys, with the next step because there is no need to waste your time just watching me removing 2 bolts. So I removed one, guys, before. I removed the second one. Now I'm working just on the 3rd one. This is the last bolt. Okay, but there is this one is easily to reach on this side. The other one, the second one that I removed, was really hard to reach, so you're gonna damage your hands a little bit. If you have smaller hands, you are doing better. That's the 3rd bolt that came out. Okay, right there. Now I'm going to grab the pump and let's see. You just need to move it a little bit. And it comes out, guys. This is your brake vacuum pump. Okay, right here you can see this is the whole pump. Okay, you can see, and it just came out like that. So that's what it looks like when you install it. Okay, I just leaked oil here. You need to position everything that goes in the in the camshaft, the intake camshaft. And those are the 3 bolts that we removed. 1, 2, 3. If you look at them on this side, you can kind of see where they are. The pump sits on the engine this way, so that's where your bolts will be located, guys. So you can see just like that. So next we're going to remove the camshaft camshaft adjusters. This is for the variable timing, guys. Okay, so we're going to get that wiring harness out of here, and those are the two sensors that we need to remove. We need to disconnect the wiring harness, and after that we need to disconnect, remove actually 2 bolts on each with reverse Torx number 6, guys. Okay, right there you can see, perfect. So we press down and gently pull it out. Okay, never ever wiggle them back and forth, just grab it with 2 fingers very firmly and pull it down. Okay, let's see if that sensor is going to come out. It may be a little bit stuck, so we need to help it with the screwdriver. You have that seal that prevents oil leaks, you can see right here. Now, if those connectors, guys, are stuck, what I recommend, push them in first and then try to pull them out, because they may be stuck to the point that they're pulled out a little bit too much and the tooth cannot release. So you need to push them in, push on the top, and then pull them out. Just a few tricks that we learn while we working on these cars, because otherwise you keep breaking things. Those little electronic components are very, very expensive. Alright, and the second camshaft adjuster is out as well. Now we can continue with the next step and show you what we need to do. So next step, okay, the gasket for the Valvetronic motor needs to come out. So with the same tool, okay, when you get things tight, guys, you have to be extremely careful, because those are screws, they are not bolts, and you can easily strip, okay, the valve cover. So that one, it may be a little bit stuck. Just turn it a little bit and it will come out. Perfect. This is the Valvetronic motor gasket out of there as well. Next, okay, let's see what we need to do. We need to disconnect all the ignition coils. Just grab the lid, that cover, and when you pull it up, it's supposed to spit the cable out, the wiring harness. But sometimes, guys, okay, it actually may get a little bit stuck. So what I recommend, while you're opening it, just grab on the connector and pull it out. Now, right here I saw something got in the injector, so let me get it out. That's why it's good to always cover things. Okay, let me get a small screwdriver quick. Okay, I got it out. Now, we need to do the second ignition coil, disconnect and pull it out the same way. Okay, they will be stuck, guys. So some of those will be stuck big time. I mean big time. Okay, now this is the third one. Okay, let me just do it here. And number 4. This one is stuck big time. So we're going to turn it a little bit and try again. Okay, perfect. Haven't been removed in a long time, guys. So, okay, that's done. Now I'm going to disconnect. Okay, is that cable holding here? Yep. You have one cable here holding. You can see. This is, okay, let me see. This is probably for the, okay, just the way I see. Let me check, but it's very likely that those are going towards the oxygen sensors. You can see one here that we'll need to disconnect now. Okay. No. Okay, let's press in, release again, try to pull it out. Perfect. and then we have one more underneath it in that bracket. Oh, hold on now. Okay, perfect. So all that is disconnected. Next, we need to disconnect, the fuel injector. So I'm going to do that quick. We removed one of them to see how it works towards the back side. Okay, we're not showing like that. Towards the back side, you have one tooth that you need to pull out a little bit. Careful not to break it. Then you pull the connector out. Now same thing applies to number 3 and 4. Okay, perfect. Fuel injectors wiring harness is out. So we still have 2 ground wires that we need to remove later here, and now we're going to remove that bracket. Okay, with that same little reverse Torx number 6 socket. Okay, one bolt is out. One screw, excuse me. Everything is screws here, not bolts. We're working on the second one now. Okay, there is more towards the back. Right here there is another one. Okay, there is another screw holding that bracket on the back side. So a little bit inconvenient. But it's doable. So this bracket will need to come out. Perfect. Okay, the only thing holding here now is the hoses for it. So we'll see, it may just stay here. We'll see if we need to pull it out, probably. Yep, we'll have to pull that one out as well. Okay, here I got stuck. Wait a minute. Okay, perfect. That bracket needs to come out. Kind of like remember how you remove things, guys. That's why it's a good thing to watch the video, because if you get stuck, you always can come back and see where things go. That way you can put them in the right place. Next, let's remove the ground wires with, what is that, 8mm socket for the, you can see here for the ignition coils. I think it's the ground wires for the ignition coils for bank 1, and well, it's only bank 1. It's 4-cylinder engine. We just worked on a 6-cylinder BMW a few days ago, so I'm still stuck a little bit on that 6-cylinder engine, but okay, so very careful not to drop that little nut. Okay, just get it loose, remove the ground wire, install it back on the thing so you don't lose it. Let's do the same thing to the other one. Okay, perfect. Great. Now guys, let's see what else we have here. What else needs to come out. Okay, right here. Okay, you have one tooth. Pull it towards the back. The wiring harness will come out. Of course, you have to be gentle. Okay, towards the back. Yep, out and pull up at the same time. Okay, let me come on this side quick, so I can actually do that one. Okay, now it's loose. It just clicked back in. Okay, that's the whole wiring harness, guys. Okay, coming out. Now we'll flip it just towards the other side. and we don't have any wiring harness on the cylinder head now. So we have a few more wires, by the way, holding. Okay, one there. So with a small screwdriver. Okay, we're going to pull this one out. And one came loose on this side. So we're ready, guys. We're ready to remove the valve cover bolts, I think. This will just stay there, one of them. The other one, let me see. Okay, we just spilled a lot of fuel, so be careful. The other hose, you just pull it out of the mount. Fuel line, excuse me. Now we need to get a reverse Torx. That's probably number 10, 8, 10, something like that. And we need to start removing all the bolts for the valve cover. So this is the socket that we need, reverse Torx number 10. Okay, you can see how it goes on the bolts. Okay, let's see if we can remove them with a little impact. Perfect. I think they'll stay, you cannot pull them out. So we will also be doing timing chain replacement on that BMW. We have so much helpful information, guys, that can save you literally thousands of dollars. So okay, careful not to drop your tools, guys. We'll need to actually get probably the ratchet there. Okay, with the... Okay, let's see if it's in. Yeah, it's in, but I don't think we'll work with that extension. We need to get a shorter extension for that ball there because it's in an angle and it's hitting in that box over there. Alright, so we're ready to continue, guys. We found the short extension, so it should work out great now. Removing that bolt. Now we have to remove that cable. That's a big positive cable. Okay, pull it out of there. Perfect, put it on the side. Later you need to reconnect everything, guys, don't forget. Now we have more bolts that we need to actually go ahead and remove. And that's not gonna work with the extension, with two extensions, only with one. So a few of them are inconvenient and a few are super easy to get to, so it really depends, guys. The ones towards the back, you can see when we remove that engine bay covering, we can get so much room on the back, otherwise it's impossible to do that without removing it. So let's see if we can do some with the impact, save us a little bit of time now. Okay, perfect. What about the other one towards the back there? Yep, this one too. Oh, you missed one. Right there. And one here. Now we are going to see if actually we removed all of them, okay, before we continue. So we have some covers here that we'll be using on the fuel injector so we don't get them dirty, guys, okay. We don't want to contaminate them, so we'll just put a few covers here and see if that's going to keep them clean. Okay, perfect. Let's get the thing that just dropped here because we'll be wondering what that one is later. Okay, so that being said, I think we are loose everywhere. So now it's a matter of getting that thing loose, guys, okay, without breaking it. So you have to be very careful not to break your cover, guys. You get a screwdriver and gently come on the tabs, okay, and try to get that thing to come loose, okay, because the gasket actually will be stuck, guys, to the cylinder head. Even if it's a leaking gasket, you'll still be stuck. So yeah, go figure that. So we're going to go ahead. You have to be careful not to break your Valvetronic motor. Okay, no, careful, very careful. Everything is expensive, guys. So valve cover came out, okay, you can see, just like that. What you need to do, okay, we need to pull that vacuum line out gently, okay, like that. Then this metal clamp, it needs to come up. Okay, check it out, it came up like that, perfect. And once it comes up like that, you can see there is a tooth right here that it gets stuck at. Leave it this way. You need to grab that hose with 2 hands, wiggle it, okay, and pull it out of the throttle body. Okay, we almost got the vacuum line, so be careful. Okay, just like that. So next step, guys, we need to go under the car. So we're going to remove the engine splash shield on the bottom. We need to do that, and after that we can get to where we're going to get the hose from underneath. We're going to explain about that as we go. So we'll remove the engine splash shield and we'll continue. Okay, next step, we're going to lift the car on our little bitty here lift. We'll put the link in the description of the video below where we get our lift from. So let's go ahead, lift it up now, and we're going to work underneath, guys, for a little bit of time now. Okay, let's go now. So this is super convenient, guys, lift. You can see very quiet, quick. Lift it up enough to get a creeper underneath and do things under the car, so makes it super convenient, by the way. Okay, it has 2 safety stops. Just jump the first one, now it's going towards the second one. Alright, perfect, that's it. Okay, so let's continue with the next step now. So let's show you guys what we'll be doing next. Okay, right here, that's the engine splash shield that we'll be removing. Okay, this one, the cover towards the back. Okay, we'll show you how to do that, how to get everything out of the way if you need to. So we're going to get 8mm socket. Okay, 8mm socket here, and we're going to start on it. So 8mm socket, and we're going to go ahead, start on it now. Okay. You can see we're towards the back. That quick jack is amazing, guys. We'll put the link in the description of the video below where we got it from. It gives you enough room to work on your vehicle, so you can use it in your car, garage at home. Because big lifts, you cannot lift it all the way. They're really hard to install. This one you can just move it wherever you need it to be. So quite a few bolts that we're removing, you can see. Very long splash shield. All right. Perfect, loose on that side. One more. Perfect. I think after that point we just have the ones towards the front that go towards the bumper actually. Okay, I'm gonna support it with my foot a little bit so it's not hanging, not to break it, right? And one more. Careful, always use eye protection because there is sand and dirt dropping here. Okay, let's pull it out. Okay, that bottom piece came out just like that. So this is the hose, okay, right here. It's a plastic intercooler, super important. Okay, don't break it, guys. You break it, that thing is expensive. So what we're going to do, okay, we're going to pull that spring out. Okay, you can see how it comes out. It stays that way. Same thing you need to do to the other side. The other side I will not be able to show you due to the fact. Okay, so I'll do the other side first. Okay, due to the fact that it is very limited room. So I'll hold the spring there with one screwdriver while I'm removing the second one here. Okay. Almost coming out, guys. Okay, let's see if I can come out. It got stuck. So once I pull one out, then it seems like the other one gets stuck. So it's not as easy as you think, guys. That's one thing for sure. So I'll try to, okay, let me do this one here on this side first. Okay, so I can hold it there, and then we'll do the one right here. Okay, and at the same time, okay, it needs to come out more. Hold it like that. Whoever thought about that design, terrible idea. And we'll need to have a person, okay, to push the hose out. So that's where things get complicated. We need to get somebody on top to actually push the hose out while we're spreading the spring. And here, let me show you one thing. Okay, that thing in the middle, okay, right here, when you pull it out, you need to pull here as much as you can so it's not stuck. So you need to get it out on two sides and pull this way. Okay, so these ends of the spring come out as much as you can because you have an extra tooth here that can get stuck. So we'll get another person on top to pull at the same time while I'm spreading them, and we'll see if it's going to come out and show you even better once the hose is removed and show you with great detail. If guys that doesn't work out, okay, let me show you what else you can do. Grab the screwdrivers, okay, and gently come here and pull that center piece to come out, okay, of the groove. Then get them out of the canal on each side and make sure it doesn't go in. Okay, and now if we get a person, okay, you can see it's gonna stay like that. If we get a person to pull on top, it should come out. Okay, you can see the whole spring came out. Later you can just reinsert it easily. Okay, so let's grab now. Bah, sand falls on your eyes and it comes loose. Now I'm going to go on top and we are going to remove it. It will leak some oil out as well, so be prepared. So you can see, guys, okay, it's loose. Now we need to just feed it here. Okay, we have the valve cover removed because we'll be doing timing chain replacement. Okay, as I said, that's a weak spot on those, so we're going to go ahead. Okay, we have the map, the T-map sensor disconnected there. So let's see if it's going to come out of here, or we'll need to disconnect that vacuum line. Okay, and see if we can pull it out of there. Right, oh, yep, it attaches to the vacuum line underneath right there. So there is one vacuum line that I need to disconnect. Okay, let me grab it with two hands and I'll show you what you need to do. So, okay, I got it out. Now let's see if that hose is going to come out of here. Okay, now I'll show you how to disconnect the vacuum line. Okay, let me show you guys. Come here this way now with the camera. I need to show you how to disconnect that vacuum line that's on the bottom. Okay, this is your vacuum line right here. Okay, you can see you have like teeth. Squish right here and you release the two clips that you have, okay, here and here, 180 degrees from each other. When you squish here, it gets it loose and just pull it out. And this is, guys, the spring, okay, and there is an O-ring that came loose on the inside. There is a ring that prevents, okay, leaks, so make sure you install it in the canal. It goes in the canal, okay, perfect, and lubricate it. That's, guys, what we were doing here. Now if you don't get it out of here, it's not going to come out. Sometimes it will get stuck. So what I would recommend, just what we did with the screwdrivers, pull the center piece out first, then the outside pieces, and you should be, guys, okay, ready to go after that. So you can see we got it out. So now for the transmission, guys, plus shield, okay, we needed to remove the other one, okay, so we can get to this one now, otherwise you cannot remove it. So 2 bolts with 10mm socket, okay, 2 bolts with 10mm we're removing now. Wow, and the other one is all the way towards the back. Check it out. Oh, those are nuts. Let me see. Was that a nut or a bolt? Right there. Okay. Okay, that's a nut. Nuts, guys. 2 nuts with 10mm. Okay, now we need to get the 8mm, and we have quite a few that we need to remove here. All right. So we're almost there. I think we have 3 more. Always watch your eyes. Things will fall, dust, dirt. Support it with your leg if you can. Show your socks. Okay, and the transmission splash shield, okay, you can see, guys, came out, okay, just like that. So once we remove the engine splash shield, the transmission splash shield, we can actually get to the engine shield guard pan, guys. Okay, so 13mm socket, okay, and we pre-loosen some of the bolts so we can, guys, save you time, not to watch us take them forever. So okay, you can see where the bolts are located. That's a very, very handy impact. I'll put the link in the description of the video below, guys. You can see where we got it from. It makes your life so much easier. Alright, and that's that engine pan shield guard, guys. Okay, came out, you can see just like that. So next we're going to remove the wheel. If you guys have a secret locking bolt, we made a special video how to remove it. If you're missing your key, it takes just a few minutes, okay, and you're not going to damage your wheel. So check out the video on our channel, how to remove secret lock bolt on BMW, guys. So okay, perfect, we're getting the tire off. You can see on the jack, on the lift here by Quick Jack, it makes everything so much easier. I'll put the link where you can get yours from. It's amazing, amazing device, guys. For house use, I'll definitely recommend it. So we're going to get, guys, a hex key number 17mm hex key for the CV axle now. Insert it good. Have one person, guys, okay, hold the brake inside. Okay, we have a person to hold the brake. Then we're going to step on it, careful not to twist it sideways, and just, okay, get that bolt loose. Okay, we're ready. You can see it's loose. So now we can continue, okay, with the next step, which is we need to go ahead and remove that bolt all the way. Okay, get it out, and we'll see what else we need to do right after that. So let's see how long the bolt is now. Usually most of the vehicles are actually with a nut. The BMW, I know this BMW has a spring too. Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen, many of those actually, guys, okay, use you can see bolt like that. You have the spring, also you have a little O-ring right here, and it goes like that, okay, on the CV axle, just like that. So we're going to turn the steering wheel, okay, since we have the car in the air on this side, and we're going to get a big screwdriver, okay, Okay, I want to come underneath, guys. Okay, let me come underneath so I can show you what's happening. Give me just 1 second. Okay, perfect. I love that quick jack, so I can show you with greater detail. If I come right here now, okay, I can pull that CV axle out, but I think it goes to the other side. Actually, let's try the other side. Okay, up, up, up. Let's try now. Okay, perfect, it came out. That's it, right there. You can see, careful not to damage, okay, damage your teeth. So, now actually, let's go ahead and see if we can come out of here this way, or we'll need to go another way now. Can we turn more? Yep, okay, we can. So, I'm trying to see what's going to happen here. Okay, the ABS sensor, nope, careful, 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 we got the cable for the ABS sensor. Okay, let's go now. Okay, it looks like only this one is in the way. Okay, this is the sway bar link that we need to remove on the bottom. Once we remove the sway bar link, I think it will come out because it will not be hitting anywhere after that. So let's go ahead and see if that's the case now. So the sway bar link, you can remove it from the bottom or the top. This is, guys, okay, the sway bar link, okay, right there. You can see in the middle it has a head for Torx. That way, okay, you can hold it so it doesn't, okay, it doesn't spin, guys. Because otherwise, okay, when you try to take that nut off, the stem can be spinning and you will not be able to take the nut off. So in that case, you have to hold it, or you can remove it on the bottom, which is actually, in my opinion, it's easier because nothing is in the way. So we'll see, okay, which side we're going to do, top or bottom. It doesn't matter. Probably the top will be more convenient to remove it. So let's go ahead and check it out now. So we're going to turn the steering wheel, okay, a little bit. So that's a 16 millimeter. Yep, 16 millimeter. Let's get it loose. Okay, no, it's gonna slip, not like that. No, first you want to, guys, spray that now. Second, you want to get a socket to get it going. And then we're going to use the wrench. So, interphone spray makes a huge difference, guys. We're going to go ahead and apply a little bit. Okay, perfect. We're going to get a 16 millimeter socket now, not a wrench, socket. And you know how the wrench is a 12 point? Okay, like that. Okay, let me focus. I have a hard time focusing what is happening today. Yeah, you can see it has 12 points. If you get a 6-point socket, the chance for it to actually damage that nut will be less likely, because those can actually have quite a bit of corrosion on them sometimes. So, okay, perfect. Let's go ahead, get it loose now. And we might need to get the big tools, guys. Big tools in place, because that thing is tight. So what we're going to do, we'll get the big breaker bar and see if we can get it loose with it. That way, okay, we'll have more leverage, because if you have rust and hasn't been removed, okay, perfect, it got loose. So always try to use, guys, as I said, 6-point socket at first. Okay, let's see if the stem is spinning now. Yep, the stem is spinning now. If you guys have the car in the air on both sides, you can see how the stem is spinning. If you have the car in the air on both sides, you will have less tension on the sway bar, and you'll be able to pull out the sway bar easier. But if you jacked up only one side, okay, you have quite a bit of tension, so you need to use a pry bar to push actually the sway bar down, so you can pull, okay, so you can pull that sway bar link out of the hole. You will see what we're talking about in just a minute. So, okay, we got the, you can see we got the two, and now we're just going to go ahead, okay, and get it loose. So once we remove the nut, I'll show you what else we're going to do. Okay, it's almost there. You can see how it's getting loose. We will not have any tension because both of the tires are in the air, you can see. as I said, if you jack it up, you have quite a bit of tension on that sway bar link. So in that case, when you get the nut off, if you just jacked it up, get a sway bar, get a pry bar, get it stuck here, and put it on the sway bar and push down until you don't have any tension, and pull the sway bar link out. Perfect. And you can see it just comes out, okay, like that, and we can put it on the side. Those are the tools that we use. So now I will go underneath, guys. Okay, I'll go underneath. Let me see now here and see what else we have. So we're going to turn it gently, keep the ABS sensor cable out, careful not to pinch your fingers. Okay, 1 second. Okay, no, okay, I got stuck here a little bit. The cable again. Okay, let's get it out now. Okay, let's turn a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Now, okay, we didn't think about that part. Let's see now. We shouldn't leak, okay, we shouldn't leak any oil out, guys. Practically we shouldn't, so hopefully everything is good and we'll be able to actually get that CV axle out now. So next step, we're going to drain the front differential fluid. With the car, guys, being on the little lift here that we have, it makes your wife really convenient. As I said, if you want to see where you can get one from, I'll put the link, guys, in the description of the video below. What you're going to need, a pan, okay, to collect the oil. You can actually do that, just jack the car yourself on both sides, go underneath, and after you get the pan, let me show you, okay, what do you need? You need, guys, okay, this is a 14mm Allen wrench, 14mm, huge, and the drain plug, okay, is on the bottom, okay, right there. So check it out now. Okay, and get it loose, going, okay, counterclockwise. It will be very tight, so you need to get the big tools in action. Get gloves, eye protection, oil will spill out, it will come fast. Check it out now. Okay, good looking oil, guys, good looking oil. 70,000 miles on the car and you can see how clean it is. So we will let it drain for about 10 minutes, even more, because it's pretty cold, so the oil is thick, and then we'll continue with the next step. So as you can see, guys, it did drain all the way. We're going to go ahead, okay, and we're going to install the drain plug now. Okay, you can see where it's located. It's right next to the oil pan there. So get it tight, okay. So this is, guys, the front differential on that BMW. You can see that's the drain plug right here for the differential. Fuel plug is actually on top, okay, right here, super inconvenient, but we'll see if we have oil, okay, from the differential once we remove that front CV axle shaft. Now if we leak oil out, it means that you have to drain the differential before you remove the CV axle. So it's always a good thing, guys, to watch the video so you know what to expect. Otherwise, okay, you can end up having quite a bit of a mess. So we're going to go ahead, okay. I'm gonna get a big punch flathead screwdriver, okay, and I'm going to get it out in just a minute. Okay, we have a pan to catch any oil, okay, if we have some. So let me see now. Okay, I'll need to position the camera, okay, and get it out now. So let's see, maybe with this one it will work better. Okay, yep, it's coming out. Okay, let me show you how it started coming out. Okay, hold it, okay, the front end, hold it not to hit the hub, because you damage your CV boot. Oh, oil started coming out, guys. So what that means? It means that we had to drain our differential fluid, okay, before we actually remove the CV axle. So you know now for sure what you need to do. We have a special video that explains how to drain it, and we'll have a video that will explain how to fill it as well, guys. You do that through this side, through this wheel, and everything will be done. But Let's see how much oil we're going to leak out, if it's going to be a lot or not so much. Now, if you have the car jacked on the right side and you're doing the right CV axle, practically I think you will not leak much oil out, okay, because the car will be on one side, you know, higher than the other one. Okay, you can see we leaked only a few drops, guys, so not much at all, and that's the car perfectly leveled. Very long axle, it goes all the way through the oil pan to the front differential. Okay, and let's see now if we will be able to get it out, or I need to turn the steering wheel more. So we turn a little bit more, we're going to lift it up. Okay, let's see if it's going to come out up. ABS cable here got caught a little bit. Okay, got stuck, so let's see if we can turn just a little bit more so we don't damage bearing or anything like that. Oh, okay, lift it up a little bit. Okay, and it comes out of there. Careful not to mess up your CV boot or anything like that. You can see, guys, and your front CV axle just came out like that. This is on the front right side, guys. Okay, out of the car. So we're on the driver's side now. We're going to remove the wheel. If you guys have wheel lock bolts, the special bolts, and you don't have the key, we actually have a special video that we made that explains how to remove them, so check it out, how to remove wheel lock bolt on BMW. On the last one, always hold the wheel because it can drop. We're in need of new tires, guys, they're bad. So if it's stuck, just give it a little bit of tap. You can gently kick it. You have to like kind of like hold it with one hand, okay, because it's going to drop. Okay, let's see how stuck this one is. Oh. Okay, you hold it, I'm going to kick it. Okay, let's turn it this way now. This is stuck, guys, it's stuck. Really bad. So what we're going to do, we might actually apply a little bit of penetrating spray here, and I think that will break it loose. So if the wheel is stuck, you can use, guys, that interphone spray. It's amazing penetrating spray. Spray it, okay, between the wheel and the tire. Okay, wait about 10 minutes, and if it doesn't come off, we have a special video that explains how to take a wheel that is stuck off a vehicle, and it will explain everything, how to safely remove it. We got our loose, so it's going to come out. Check out all the deposits that we have. All that needs to be cleaned later. Okay, otherwise, okay, that will happen again in the future. So wheel is off, we can continue now, okay, with the next step. So now, guys, once we remove the wheel, that's the bolt for the CV axle that we'll need to remove. It's with a hex key number 17, pretty huge too, guys. So if you have a lot of rust, okay, get it in and hammer it, okay, to make sure it gets in good. Okay, you want to hammer it that way. Okay, make sure that it sinks all the way in. Now I'm gonna have the person, okay, turn the steering wheel a little bit to the left so I'm away from the bumper. Let's turn a little bit to the left, and we'll have a person hold the steering wheel, guys, okay, and the brake pedal. Let's hold the brakes, okay, and I'm going to get with my foot, okay, and the brakes need to be held more. Okay, check it out, that's unbelievable. Okay, it came loose, 1 second, a little bit more. Okay, it's all the way in. Now I'm going to step on it again. At that point, we're loose, we can let go. Now, you will see, we want to show you something, guys. German engineering, guys, amazing. Due to the fact, okay, you will see what's inside now. There should be one O-ring that prevents water, salt, okay, corrosion to happen inside the bolt. So let's see if that's the case now. Alright, this thing right here, guys, prevents water, salt to enter the bolt and mess it up. So you can see whoever invented that design, it's great. So, okay, we're done here now. So, go ahead, turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. Okay, now guys, if you notice, okay, we want to show you something here. Okay, let's get the head out a little bit. Perfect. That sway bar link, okay, will need to be removed because it will be in the way. We will not be even needing to disconnect the suspension, the wheel hub or anything like that. It will come out, we'll show you the secret, but you need to remove that sway bar link. Now, if your car is on a lift, guys, or lift, you have the front two tires lifted all the way in the air, you will have no tension on the sway bar link. But if you have only one side jacked up of your car, you have an enormous amount of pressure on the sway bar link. So after you remove the bolt, the nut, you will need to use a pry bar to get the tension out and get the link out. But we're using that quick jack, guys. I'll put the link in the description of the video below where we got ours from. It's amazing tool, and you can see where you can get it from. It lifts up the car enough for home use to be working on it, guys, underneath it, and it makes everything so convenient. So we sprayed the nut with a penetrating spray interphone. This is one of the best on the market that we used. We're going to let it soak. We need to get a 16mm socket, and we need to get a Torx. I think it's Torx 30 star looking bit, okay, for the stem. Because once you get the nut loose, what will happen, okay, that stem will start spinning as well. And you want, guys, okay, to hold it, okay, so that way you can remove the nut. So 16mm socket, big tools, this one will be tight and it will start spinning after that. So that's what we will be doing next. Let's get the Torx 30. I think it's 30. Let's see, which one is this? Oh, it's smaller. This is actually 27, so let's get 30. Next one bigger. This one will slip, I think. So if we get the 30, okay, this one is 30. Let's see if it fits first. Yep, right on the spot. But let's just, okay, clean it good, hammer it. You can get it with the wrench over it, okay. And at that point, you can turn the wrench, okay, or you can turn the stem. It's recommended to turn the wrench actually, guys, but if you want to, okay, especially on the older sway bar link, it's easier to turn the stem as well. If they're really new tight, you might have a hard time doing that. As I said, our car is lifted in the air, so we have no tension on the sway bar. Otherwise, if you have tension, once you remove that nut, you will need to place a big bar and push the sway bar down, so you will not have pressure on the link, and then pull it out of the suspension strut. Perfect. This is out. Next, let's go ahead, get it out. You still may have a little bit of tension. Okay, let's turn to the right, to the left, excuse me. And you still have a little bit of tension, not much, but I'll be able to do it by hand. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to turn all the way to the left, guys. I'm going to go underneath, okay. I want to show you now. You have to be careful here. Okay, let me just get under the car quick with the equipment. Okay, you have ABS sensor that you don't want to damage. This is your ABS sensor, guys. Be careful. So if you come out here, okay, the CV axle will come out. Then you need to come around the CV, around the ABS sensor. You kind of like need to position it up a little bit, out of the way. And then you're going to get the axle out. You can compress it a little bit if you need to. Okay, let's see. We might need to turn the steering wheel more. A little bit more to the right. Okay, it's good now. So let's go ahead and see what else we need to do, because we need to get it out of the transmission side now. So this is the CV axle. If you come to this side, that's your front differential right here. Get a big flathead screwdriver, a hammer, and you need to hammer it out. Make sure that it's not stuck somewhere. Okay, 1 minute. It's stuck. I need to lift it up a little bit. Okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, guys, okay, before we continue, okay, you're going to leak differential fluid out. So you will need to drain your front differential. Okay, we have a video on the channel how to do that. If you want to see, check it out. Otherwise, you're going to leak all your fluid out and it will be a big mess, believe me. So we're going to go ahead now. Okay, let's go ahead. See if it's gonna come loose. Okay, it came loose. Now it's good. We don't have oil, so we need to come out now. Okay, it's a big mess here. Okay, we don't want to hammer too much because we're going to break the seal. Let me turn the steering wheel if I can more to the left. Perfect. All the way to the left. Now I'm going to come this way. One person is going to push it out of there. Don't pull on it because you can get the inner CV joint out. Okay, and pull it out. This is it, guys. You can see CV axle shaft on the front driver side removed, guys. So next we're going to drain the engine oil. Okay, that's the next step, guys. So we need a 17mm socket. We're going to get the drain plug loose. Perfect. And we're just going to go ahead and drain it now. You can see that quick jack makes things so much easier. Not a sponsored video, purchased it ourselves, and I'm gonna put the link in the description of the video below where we get ours from for a really good price as well, guys. So we're going to go ahead, drain the oil, recommend to use gloves, eye protection always. Okay, perfect, and we'll just let it drain now. So next step, guys. Okay, everything cleared here. Let us show you now. Okay, a little bit of limited room. There is one mount for the transmission hoses. Okay, which is down there. Okay, you can see there is one bolt with reverse torque socket. Okay, small socket. Let me see where it went, guys. Okay, that's the socket. That's what it looks like. We got that one loose so we don't break our hoses. Now we're going to go ahead and remove it all the way, that bolt. Okay, so we can actually get the hoses out. So let us show you kind of like where it is. Trying our best, guys, but very limited very limited room here, so working on it now. Then what we're going to do, okay, I'm gonna show you in a second. Just want to remove my watch quick so I don't scratch it. Okay, perfect. So it's almost, yeah, that's out. That bolt is out. Let me grab it quick. Not yet. Okay, this is it, guys. Okay, this is the bolt. That's what it looks like. Now we're going to get, guys, okay, a screwdriver, and we're going to release these cables right there. Perfect. Okay, just like that. Next, what we're going to do now here, guys, okay, that's where things get, okay, a little bit more complicated. We're going to go ahead, guys, okay, and we'll start, okay, we'll start getting, let's see, we're gonna get that nut in the middle loose first. That will be the first thing, and then we need to jack the car, the transmission up, or you can use engine bar. Okay, we'll have a scene how to use engine bar as well. We just ordered ours because the old one, okay, we misplaced it, gave it to somebody, didn't come back to us. And engine bar is super easy due to the fact that you can support it here on the other side, and you can lift it, you can tie your engine to it, and it will stay there even without the engine mounts, which is super convenient. Now 16mm socket, guys, and we're going to remove the nut that holds the engine mount to the engine bracket. Okay, you're going to see in just a second. Okay, we're almost there, and I want to show you where it's located. Okay, the nut is, oh, come on, yep, that's the nut off of this bolt. Okay, you can see over there, that bolt. So now what we're going to do, now we need to make sure that we don't have any tension on the bolts so we can continue. What we're going to do, we have the jack, since we don't have the engine bar, tie bar, we have the jack with multiple wood blocks on the transmission. Okay, but I would recommend to go on the bell housing instead of the transmission pan. We've done it on the transmission pan and we haven't broken any of them on this kind of BMW. But if you're not careful, you can punch a hole in your transmission pan. valve body and you can completely destroy your transmission. So I recommend to get the tie bar. I'll include the scene how to use it, guys. Ours will come tomorrow, so I'll make that include in the video. Make sure you stay and watch until the end so you can see what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to jack up, okay, until there is no pressure there on the engine mount. So we need to make sure that the engine mount is coming loose. Okay. So let's see if it's gonna come loose or not. So now, in order not to have any tension on the bracket, engine mount bracket, we'll get the 3 bolts on the bottom loose and remove them. 1, 2 right there, and 1 on the back side, 3 of them. We're going to remove those, guys, okay, and we will show you, okay, what we're going to do next. So 1 of them, okay, with that reverse torque socket. Okay, I'll just need to do it with the extension, okay, with the short extension. This is too long of an extension. Okay, and I'll go ahead, remove that, and I'll show you guys, okay, what to do next. So it went that way easily, okay, with a long extension, but short extension probably will be more convenient. Okay, that bolt is there. Now we need to do this one here. We pre-loosen them, so there will go. Careful if you're doing here not to break your intake manifold map sensor. So removing the second one now. Okay, if you go through here, it's actually better, guys, on this side of the pipe. So this is the second one. We will have one more after that. I'm trying to focus there to show you where the action is. Okay, perfect. This one here, just with a long extension, I think it will work. Straight there. I want to remove one of the bolts to show you how long they are, guys. Okay, like that. You may have some rust corrosion on them as well, so always be prepared for things like that, depending on how old your car is, where it was driven, solid conditions, snow, ice, sleet, things like that. Okay, remove the second one now, and now there is one more, the third one. Okay, over here. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to jack, okay, the transmission up a little bit, okay, until it starts coming up. So let's just pump the jack one time. If it doesn't go up at all, we need to inspect and see what causes that. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that now. Okay, one more time. Okay, it started coming loose. Yep, just let's go one more time, a little bit. Okay, that's it. Right there, it's loose now. We can see the engine mount is loose. So what we're going to do now, we're going to remove the bracket. So we're going to loosen, don't remove them. Okay, that's gonna slip like that. You have to hold it with 2 hands so you can damage your bolts. Pre-loosen all of them, don't remove them all the way. Okay, you have the crankshaft position sensor here, so you have to be extremely careful not to cause any damage here, because crankshaft position sensor, if you damage it, your car will not start, or if you unplug it even too. So we dropped our tool. Now we need to hunt for it somewhere, find it. The moment we find it, we can continue. Okay, and get the other 3 loose now. Let's see how we can do that. See if we can get a little bit of light there. Perfect. And the next ones that we need to do here, here, and here as well. So let's do that now. Second loose. Okay, here we need to use a shorter extension because you can see right here you have the AC line and everything's so close. We haven't drained our AC system, so I think we'll be able to do it without draining it. So let's go ahead and see that, but we don't want to damage things in the way. So if you think you're going to damage something, drain the AC system. And if you're planning on doing that, okay, the easiest thing will be to take it to AC shop and they can vacuum it. Okay, or if you want to see a vacuum pump, we can share the link where you can get one from in the description of the video below. So working on the last bolt to get it loose now. So let's go ahead. Okay, without extension, just the socket and get those loose. So we'll just start removing them one by one. Now, probably I would recommend to remove the bottom ones first because they're easy to remove compared to the top ones. So let's go ahead, do that quick. And we'll continue. Okay, almost there, guys. Make sure you don't have any pressure on that mount. If you do, what will happen? Actually, it can destroy your block, because if you have pressure on the mount and the engine is not supported, lifted off the engine mount, you would try to remove the bolts, but you have pressure and that can strip the thread of the bolt over the aluminum block itself, and that could be, guys, okay, practically catastrophic. So we're going to go ahead, remove the other bottom one. Okay, let me just move that hose a little bit out of the way. No, so I think the easiest way to do that one will be just with the ratchet here, because by hand it's almost impossible. All right. Perfect. Second one. One more, two more, guys, on top that we need to get out somehow. Alright, just one more bolt, guys. After that we're going to remove it. Now make sure that on the last one, the last two, you don't have any pressure. Again, make sure you don't smash your transmission pan. I will not recommend to do what we did. I will recommend, guys, to get the engine bar. Okay, you can see our engine just dropped about 1/4 inch. I saw it drop. So this is the last one now. If I lift it up a little bit, I can push on the engine a little bit. It can get the bolt to where it will go by hand at one certain position. Okay, bolt comes out. Now we're going to get that mount bracket, engine mount bracket, pull it out. Okay, the next step, we can grab the engine mount. Okay, this is your engine mount right there, and I'm wondering whether to come on top or the bottom. And this is your, you can see, driver side engine mount out of that BMW, guys. So now the front differential, guys. Next step, front differential. One of the bolts we access through here, okay, and we got it loose to where, okay, it's practically going by hand. Okay, let's see if I can get the ratchet out. Okay, it's going by hand, but I use that heavy duty ratchet and I just got it loose from this side, because most of the times you have to use a big tool like that. They're very tight bolts, but this ratchet it's been through so much abuse, so I went right here and just went all the way as much as I go, and I took it off, guys. We got it loose. So we're going to remove one of the bolts. It's right under the AC compressor there. Okay, so okay, we're spinning it there now. I can feel it. So let's go ahead and remove that one. It just come out. Let me see. Okay, I'm doing it by hand even without the socket now. So practically, guys, smashing your hands in there. Let me see if I can get it on the right hand, because left one is very inconvenient. Come on, very long bolt, guys. Okay, this is the bolt. This is the first bolt that came out. Now we have one on top that you reach through right here. Okay, you can see the bolt. Okay, we don't need the light, it's good. I have light right here. So this is the bolt, and now I'm going to pass the ratchet here. Okay, let's see if we need the socket, or we can just go ahead and remove it by hand. Okay, let me see. Oh, it goes by hand as well, but a little bit tight. So what I'll do, if we can put the socket on that, it will be great. Let's see, or we can just go ahead and remove it by hand, but it does get stuck sometimes. We pre-loosen those, guys. As I said, we just use that long bar that you can see right here, and I'll show you the two that we are using. The bolt looks like that. It's with reverse torque socket. Okay, second one coming out. This is the two top ones that are a little bit not so convenient. Okay, this one is very long bolt, guys. Okay, this is the longest one, I think. Okay, check it out, super long. So remember how you kind of like remove them. Now I'm going underneath. Okay, and let's just situate a little bit. Perfect, we can see the bolts a little bit if we put that hand down. Yep. So what we're going to do now, okay, I'm going to get the ratchet. I forgot the ratchet. Okay, I pre-loosened them, but we need to get the two, and we have the one on the bottom, on the front, and one on the back. Now careful not to drop. That thing is heavy, guys. You don't want it to fall on you, so I wouldn't recommend to lay right underneath it. So on the last bolt, okay, we're getting it tight now. Go the other way, the other way, the other way. No. Okay. It's hitting there. Yeah, it's hitting in the subframe. So we need to remove the ratchet and just do it by hand, or you need to drop the engine a little bit with the jack. Remember how we jacked the transmission? We might need to do that, guys. We'll see in a second. So, okay, this is the third bolt that's about to come out. And that front differential carrier, okay, we'll see how we will be able to get it out of the vehicle. Okay, great. Out. Now, right there. Another one. Careful not to fall on you, okay? That thing is heavy, so you kind of like support it a little bit. It goes in the oil pan, so it shouldn't just come straight out, but you never know, depending if your car is tilted or something as well. So how come? Okay, on this side, okay, on this side we'll probably leak some fluids out as well. Okay. We guys put quite a bit of effort into making these videos, so I would really appreciate if you recommend and subscribe, like the videos, because they're very time consuming and we take apart our own cars to show you how to fix yours. Perfect. So now guys, okay, let's see, okay, what else will be holding here. Okay, it's loose. Okay, came loose. Now we are hitting somewhere, so we need to see where we need to go up or down to get it out. So guys, next we have the engine supported a little bit jacked up, as you know, but we're going to remove the nut of the passenger side engine mount. Okay, we'll try to do that. Remove that nut and we'll try to jack the engine up a little bit, okay, from underneath to come out of that engine mount, and then we'll try to just scoot it a little bit to this side. That way, what we'll do, okay, we'll free more space on the other side, and hopefully the front differential carrier, okay, will come out. Okay, so now, okay, if we, it's still holding here, so I need to jack up one time underneath. Okay, and we're going to see, okay, because I will need to use two hands, see if it's going to come loose. So we lifted it a little bit more up. We won't even come out of the engine mount. You can see we can move it left and right. I got the timing chain here. Dirty oil, guys. So we'll go underneath now. Okay, we'll go underneath. One person will hold the differential while what I'm doing. I'll grab the engine, pull it towards me. Okay, let's see if that's enough room to come out. And coming out. Okay, stuck a little bit, so we need to come a little bit more up on the engine. So we jacked the engine a little bit up, guys, as you can see. Now that plate, that metal plate, it's keeping this, that's the evap hoses, I think in the fuel line from the fuel tank. So brake lines as well. So we removed 3 nuts on that one. Okay, it stays right there. We removed 3 nuts, 2, you can see 1, 2, and you have another one, okay, over there. Once we did that, you have to be very careful not to damage your fuel lines, brake lines. Very heavy, you come in an angle like that. Okay, and the front differential, guys, okay, is out. Okay, and that thing is heavy. And I'm dripping oil everywhere. But it came out, guys. Okay, you can see this is it. Out of the vehicle, finally. We already drained ours, as you can see in the scene before. We drain our engine oil, but you will still have some oil, guys. Be prepared to leak some oil out. So we'll go ahead, disconnect the wiring harness. Okay, I forgot to turn the light on, so it's a little bit dark, okay, but still noticeable. So right there, okay, careful not to break it, guys. Okay, you have 2 taps on the light, on the, excuse me, on the wiring harness. Squeeze those in and pull it out. Okay, if it's stuck, my advice, move it a little bit back and forth and push in, then okay, press those in and pull it out, guys, because you will have dirt, dust stuck in it, so you will have quite a bit of contamination there. Okay, perfect. So this is ready. Now 10mm socket, guys, we're going to remove, okay, 3 nuts that we have here, and again, be prepared to have some oil leak here. Yeah, that one was pretty tight. Okay, removing those now, and we'll see what else we need to do. You may have a little bit of rust if your vehicle is older, if you drove through snow, ice, if they, you know, when they use that winter compound to melt the snow and ice, which is kind of like salt, based on salt, it really eats metal in your vehicle, guys. So that's why it's a good thing to wash it once in a while underneath during the cold winter months. So now the sensor, be careful, grab it, gently pull it out. It may be stuck because you have a seal. Careful not to break it, you will leak some oil out. And this is, guys, the oil level sensor that came out of the car. You can see just like that. So now we need to disconnect a few wires, guys, that attach. Okay, give me a second, because I cannot come here. Okay, 1 second, so I can position the camera to show you what we are doing. Okay, right there we have a few cables, wires that attach to the oil pan. So you need to just pry those out. Careful not to break anything. Perfect. Okay, this one's out. One towards the front, guys. There's another one. Okay, perfect. Now let's see. One you can see next to the rack and pinion there as well. Not too complicated. And there is one more, obviously, that I'll have a hard time showing you where it is, but you get the idea, guys. Okay, and after that, okay, once we disconnect it, okay, you can see where we are behind the rack and pinion there. Okay, on this side. Perfect. We'll show you what else, okay, we need to do. Let me show you what tool we'll be using. This is a reverse Torx. I believe it's number 6. Okay, let me see. 8, number 8, reverse Torx 8, and we're going to go ahead and start removing, guys, all of the bolts for the oil pan. So make sure you stand till the end. Some of those are hidden, and we want to show you how many bolts you have total, so you know what to expect, where they're located, okay, and what needs to be done. Because if you have a bolt and you're trying to pry the oil pan out, what can happen? Okay, you can crack that oil pan if you have the aluminum one. If you have a rear wheel drive, it will be a plastic oil pan, which is even worse, easier to break. So we'll go ahead, okay, get all the bolts loose now. Okay, to make sure that they're going all the way in, the two. Otherwise you can damage it. Towards the front of the engine, we have bolts as well. There is quite a few bolts, guys, believe me. So many bolts that we need to remove. And some of those are in not very convenient location, but with the engine mount removed and all that stuff, okay, that will be a big plus, guys, because otherwise you cannot reach them. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better where everything is located. Here we have to get a longer extension. And you will start leaking some oil out. You can see we just did. One of the bolts already started leaking oil. So be prepared for oil leaks, be prepared, guys, to get dirty and get yourself quite dirty. So I'll recommend to have gloves and goggles, guys. We'll go ahead and remove all the bolts and I'll show you where each one of them is located. So we removed, guys, quite a few bolts. Okay, you can see quite a few bolts. We'll cover all that in just a second. Once we remove it, we'll show you where each one of them is located, because otherwise, okay, you won't be able to find out with a great detail, guys. So we just have a few here. Okay, those are long and you will leak some oil out of those, probably. Let's see. Oh, we just had oil in one of them. So once we remove these 3 bolts, okay, we should be able to have everything loose. Just always make sure, guys, you go around on the back side, we have everything removed. Okay, make sure that you don't have a bolt somewhere, because you're going to break your oil pan, okay, if you try to pry it out. So remove those. Okay, right there we have more. You can see that are on the back side. We need to remove them as well. They're not facing, they're not vertical, they're horizontal bolts. So we'll go ahead and remove those now. Okay, so one of them we kind of like pushed the, you can see, guys, the transmission lines out of the way, got it loose. It goes and then it stops. So if you get the socket, let's see if we'll be able to get that bolt out. Okay, you have to be really good with your fingers, guys, because it's limited room, believe me. So we're going to go ahead. Okay, try to get this one out. It goes and then it stops. Because those are aluminum bolts, sometimes they will do that to you guys. So when it stops, you might use the ratchet, then go by hand again. Those lines make it a little bit inconvenient because you don't want to break them too, and I don't want to disconnect them to leak transmission fluid out, then to worry about, okay, do I need to put more fluid and all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead, get that one out, and we'll continue. So it's finally going all the way. Okay, you can see, and the bolt comes out. Okay, pretty big bolt, guys. Perfect. Next, a few more. How many more? One more. One more right there. Yep. This one is easy to access, easy to get loose. That's a bigger Torx too, guys. I think it's the E10. So coming loose now. Perfect. Now guys, there is a special place, okay, that okay, one more. There is a special place where we're going to pry to get that oil pan loose. If you don't do it the correct way, you're going to break your oil pan. Don't force things too much, because most likely, okay, there is quite a bit of factory silicone even holding that thing together. We may not even have a gasket, we'll see. Sometimes when you have the aluminum pans, often you don't even have a gasket, oil pan gasket. It's just that gray silicone that we'll put the link in the description of the video below where you can get some from if you need to, guys. Okay, almost coming out. At least this one is easy to get to, right? So that makes things a little bit better. Perfect. Now let's see. Okay, you can see like kind of like right here, guys. Okay, right there. You're going to come with a big screwdriver. Okay, and we're going to pry a little bit, guys. Okay, but the fact is that, okay, I need to get a bigger. Oh, it came loose. Did you see? Now be prepared to leak oil out. Okay, the pen is going to drop. I'm going to come out. We'll see how we're going to get it out now. Okay, let's see if we're going to hit here and there, or if it's going to come out, or we need to jack the engine up on the other side. Now, that's where things get a little bit ugly again. Don't pry anything, don't push too much, because you can break your oil pump on the inside. So what we did, guys, as you know, previously we loosened, okay, the nut for the passenger side engine mount. We jacked up the transmission, which I will not recommend, guys, to do that on the transmission because you can break your transmission. You can use, guys, okay, you can use the engine support bar, and with this thing you can pull your engine up. Okay, we'll have a video how to use it, and I'll put the link, okay, to the bar in the description of the video below. It goes here and here. You put the bolt in the middle and you can lift your engine up. That way you're not going to damage your transmission. And our pen was hitting on the power steering, okay, on the rack and pinion, okay, right here. So we kind of like use the screwdriver a little bit to gently pry it out. And okay, give me a second. I'm not ready. okay, to go underneath, and the moment, guys, it comes out of there, okay, let's see if we will be able to come out, or we're gonna be hitting even more now. Okay, in that corner you can see how much it dropped, and it's still not coming out. So next, guys, you need to kind of like reposition it, because this corner right here will be hitting in the subframe. Go ahead, reposition it, move it a little bit left and right. Okay, and then you have two legs on the back holding it, and that pan, okay, should come out, guys. Okay, you can see just like that. We're going to pull it out. We want to show you where all the bolts are and all that stuff, and then we'll continue with the next step. So this is, guys, oil pan coming out. It does have a gasket. I thought we don't have a gasket. We've been working on so many cars, but it has a gasket, guys. Okay, and this is it. We have quite a bit of engine oil inside, quite a bit of engine oil, and this is our oil pan that came out of the vehicle just like that. Quite a bit of work, but you can see it's doable. It is a little bit time consuming, but compared to what price they want in the shops, guys, or the dealerships, you can do it yourself if you know what you're doing and watching the video. So right here, those are the two on the back side that are heating, and yeah, oil is a little bit dirtier than it should be. That's why we're doing a timing chain replacement. This car hasn't, guys, okay, hasn't had much maintenance, even though it has only 70,000 miles. So we thought, guys, I was exaggerating when I told you that this engine throws timing chain for certain years at very low mileage. This car has only 70,000 miles, and even though the car was running fine so far and no problems, we just wanted to change the timing chain because we just bought it and we don't want to risk it. Check out what we found. Pieces of timing chain guide on the bottom of the engine, guys. So we were so close to, okay, completely messing up our engine. So yeah, that's been there for a while. How you can find out that? You can see even the edges are a little bit round, which means that it's been in the open for a while and they've been moving here and there. So we got lucky this time. So altogether, guys, let's explain now how many bolts we have. We had the three big ones here, okay, 1, 2, 3 here, and then you have the little ones. One, okay, check it out now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 bolts, 25 little and 3 big ones, so 28 bolts altogether for that oil pan. So next step, guys, okay, next step that we have right here, we are going to remove the camshaft position sensors so we don't break them. Intake side, exhaust side right there. So perfect. We're going to get the reverse torques number 8. We pre-loosened one of them already, guys, a little bit, so you can see. Okay, that way. That way we're not going to waste your time, guys. How it can be such a limited space for those camshaft sensor, person has to wonder sometimes. Okay, almost coming out. Okay, one bolt is out. The sensor itself, you pull it out. Now we need to disconnect the wire. Let us show you how. Okay, right here, check it out. You need to spread it gently with a screwdriver, pull up that tooth. If you pull too much, you will break it. Okay, and pull it out. This is one of the camshaft sensors. Now we need the other one, exactly the same way. So we're going to remove the next one and we will continue. So for the second sensor, okay, you can see we got it there, we got it loose just a little bit. Now I'm going to pull the ratchet out, okay, because the moment you get it loose, they go by hand, guys, pretty easy after that. Okay, check it out. It's coming loose. And once you remove it, if your camshaft position sensor is still stuck, that's because the seal is stuck. You have an O-ring that prevents oil from leaking out. Second bolt out. Now check it out. So grab it, wiggle it a little bit. Okay, comes out. Make sure the O-ring comes with the sensor. Okay, that's the O-ring, and we need to disconnect it now. Perfect. Okay, second sensor is out, and we can continue with the next step. Next, we need to remove one hose that we have right here. It's right from where the air filter box is, and it goes all the way to the turbo, guys. So we need to just get a screwdriver, okay, or a socket that size, and we need to get that clamp loose, okay, over there. And once we get it loose, we can actually go ahead and remove, okay, get it loose and remove that hose. Here we have one plastic, okay, you can see, holder. Okay, spreading those too much, it may you may have a hard time installing them later. So what you can do, okay, I'm going to explain to you in just a second. Okay, let's grab the hose. Okay, it comes out. Now those things, guys, when you spread them like that, they may not attach easily later. So what I recommend, squeeze them with your pliers. Okay, and you can bend, there is 4 teeth, bend them up a little bit, that way the clip can reattach, or you can go ahead and open that clip if you want to. That's doable as well, but in some cases, okay, you can see how easy it is to open. You just go right there and you can open and remove it, and we don't even need to worry about that. So probably that's what we should have done. We're going to cover the intake there. Now we can continue with the next step. So now, guys, let us show you what we need to do actually to remove the belt. You have the crankshaft pulley here, you have the AC compressor here, alternator right here, and this right here is your tensioner pulley. This is the one that actually keeps tension on the belt. Now, a few things that we're going to talk about that you will recommend to replace when you replace belt or tensioner. Make sure you stand till the end, and we're going to cover that, guys, as well. But we'll explain what you need to do now to remove that belt. You have one, okay, looks like a bolt here. You can see like a nut. This is with a 16mm socket, guys, 16mm, and we're going to go ahead. You need a big bar, and you need to go clockwise. Once you go clockwise, it's going to release the pressure of the belt, and you can pull it out of the alternator now. Alternator, okay, right here. Perfect. You can see it just comes out like that. Now you can let go. Perfect. And we can go ahead and pull the belt out. Okay, check it out. Pretty simple. And the serpentine belt came out of there, you can see, just like that. So now for the crankshaft pulley, guys, we're going to get a 22mm socket. We need to hold the bolt in the middle right here. And while we're holding this one, we're going to get a reverse torque socket, this one here. And this one is actually a reverse torque stand. So we're going to hold it there, okay? That way the engine will not spin. Okay, you don't want to spin your engine, guys. So I'll need to push that away clockwise while another person is getting the bolts loose one by one. And those will be tight. Okay, once you get them loose, they'll start going by hand pretty easily. So no, this one is not good in at all. So what I'm going to do, I'll just go ahead, okay, and spin the engine a little bit. And let me see if I can reposition the socket. One more step. Oh, we're going to twist the, okay, remove the socket, turn it quarter revolution. Okay, and that should give us room to remove another bolt. So we're going to do that for all 6 of them. Perfect. Now let's see. No, this one will not work again. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, let's. I get stuck here. So we're going to get guys another 2. I'm going to show you, because like that it's going to take a very long time. We got 2 of them loose. Now we're working on the 3rd one. We're going to get one ratchet. Okay, so let's switch the socket to the ratchet with double ratchets. That will be easier, because otherwise I'm hitting with that long bar the upper radiator hose, and I can break the radiator hose as well, and we don't want that to happen. So with that being said, now let me show you now. While I'm holding this one, okay, let's try. I don't remember which one we removed. No, you cannot go that way, so we need to come from this side. Okay, let's try that now. No, we just almost rounded that bolt, so you have to be extremely careful. So, okay. We went back to that ratchet because it's thinner, that way we're not hitting, otherwise we're going to round the bolts. If that happens, you need to remove everything, get the socket on and hammer it on the bolt to make sure it goes all the way in. Okay, and we removed the last one, guys, now. Okay, this is the last one, and once you do that, okay, you can go ahead, actually pull all that, and you need to start removing, okay, the bolts by hand. You can just go ahead and remove everything. Okay, almost there. Okay, I think we have only 2 more, guys, so let's see. Yep, last one on top here. And see how that thing is going to come out. If you guys need help with anything specific, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the description of the video below. Those are all the bolts. Okay, right here, 6 bolts, and now this is the the pulley itself. Probably it will be stuck to some point, guys, so we will need to pry it gently to come out. The middle bolt should not hold the pulley. Okay, it should be loose, and the bolt should not hold the pulley at all. So we'll go ahead, okay, and see if we can pry it out of there now. So we're going to get some interphone spray, really good stuff, guys. It breaks rust like nothing else. Okay, so we're going to spray between the bolt and the pulley. Okay, we're going to let it soak for a little bit, because that probably, guys, okay, we can see how much rust we have there, and that can actually that can prevent the pulley from coming loose. But okay, nothing else should be holding that pulley there, because okay, it should come loose. Okay, from what I can see, it looks like it just goes there. Yep. So now if we get a bigger screwdriver, I'm going to go on the fat part of the block right here. Man, I cannot get it in to pry. Okay, it's stuck pretty good. So let's see if we need to get actually the pulley puller to get it out of there. So we'll get a rubber hammer, okay, and gently tap on it, okay, from every angle that you can, guys. And oh, check it out, it started moving. It started moving. Probably the penetrating spray started working as well. It's eating all the rust, you can see. So let's spray just a little bit more if we have a little bit of spray, because I see it started breaking the rust loose. Okay, you can see all the rust washing off, okay, from that bolt. So, yep, check that out, guys, that's the rust, okay, leaking out. It was so corroded here that it didn't want to come out. Don't pry too much with the screwdriver, you can easily crack your bulk. If it doesn't come out with just a little bit of pry, spray it, tap on it a few times, spray it again until everything breaks loose. And we got the crankshaft pulley out, you can see just like that. So next step, we will either need to remove the exhaust manifold, okay, the catalytic converter, not the exhaust manifold, or the engine mount bracket. What we'll be doing now, guys, okay, we'll remove the engine mount bracket because we got everything loose. Engine is practically in the air. So what we're going to do, okay, we're just going to remove 4 bolts, guys, that hold it in place. We'll leave the bottom ones for last, okay? Let's leave them for last because you don't want something to drop and pinch your hand. So remove the top ones first. We might need to get a short extension for one of them, okay? So I'll get one that's a little bit short because this one is too long, I think, the one that we have. Okay, we got a short extension, guys. We're going to get them loose. Okay. Yeah, that's right there. Perfect. Let's get loose. They probably will be tight. Okay, got loose. One of them. So, second one now. Okay, on top, right there. Careful the engine not to fall on you or something, guys. So let's go ahead and remove these 2. Okay, we will pre-loosen all of them. We can if we need to, but let's just go ahead and remove first the top ones, and then we can do the bottom ones, because you don't want to have your hand stuck in moving pieces, guys. And I recommend to use that tie bar for the top of the engine. That way, if the jack on underneath fails for some reason, you're not going to have your hands pinched by the engine and maybe lose a finger or 2 or an arm, wrist, who knows. There is always a danger working on your vehicle, so you have to assume that, guys, because things don't go always as they should, and you always have to take precautions and be extra careful and double secure everything. Okay, now we're removing the second one on top, and we should be able to remove the other 2 that we have on the bottom there. Very well designed engine, except for the timing chain component, guys. So once you replace the timing chain, I've seen some really high mileage ones with no problems. Just what I do, 70,000 miles, 60 to 70,000 miles, I usually replace timing chain on those. When you do it once, second time is a piece of cake, believe me. And everything goes easier too, because you already got things loose one time. Okay, and let's get the other one loose too. So if something happens, we don't want to strip the bolt to have all the weight on it, on the last bolt. So okay, it's good, everything is going good, so we can just go ahead and remove the 2 bolts on the bottom. You can see how clean the engine is, guys. It's been well taken care of, but the fact that it failed the timing chain gets a little bit concerning, because of one plastic timing chain, guys, you can completely ruin your engine. Alright, let's see if we need to jack it up a little bit, or it's going to have any pressure. You have to make sure that you don't have any pressure on the mount, otherwise you have to pump the jack a few times, or with the tie bar on top. Okay, you have to move it a little bit. So okay, you can see we're good. Engine bracket is out. Perfect, just like that. Next step, guys, we're under the engine. Okay, you can see by the flywheel here, that's where the exhaust is, and you have the TDC pin. Okay, I'm trying my best right here. There is one hole for the TDC pin, guys. Okay, and you have that cap. Okay, that cap right here, you can see. And what I used to remove that TDC pin, okay, I used that tool. You can see it's kind of like a hook. And with that tool, guys, I placed it, okay, I'm trying to focus here, give me a second. I placed it, having a hard time, inside that ear. Come on, what's happening with my focus? I placed it, guys, in this ear right here, you can see right there, and it stays like that right here on top. Okay, and pull it out. If you cannot get your hands, if it's really stuck, what you have to do, you have to remove the bracket for the exhaust. You have 2 nuts right here, 1 bolt, and you have to remove the clamp for the turbo where the catalytic converter attaches to the turbo. The exhaust will drop, it will come this way, and then you have more room to access the TDC pin, but it's doable without actually removing the exhaust, as you can see. So we guys have a person, okay, that we're going to spin the engine clockwise, okay, with that, what is that, 22 millimeter socket, guys, 22 on the crankshaft. Now I have the TDC pin, okay, you can see the TDC pin, that's what it looks like. Okay, let me insert it here in the hole. I had it in, but I wanted to show you. It's a little bit okay of limited room, so let me get it in, because with one hand holding the camera and the pin, okay, it's almost impossible. So I'll reconnect it and I'll show you guys. So we are, guys, okay, we are almost there. I inserted the pin. The TDC hole is right here, but make sure you stand till the end. There is something else that I want to show you. Okay, so let me okay, let's go just a little bit, turn the engine. Okay, oh, right there, that's the hole. Never put your fingers there. So that TDC pin needs to go in this hole. Okay, you're going to feel it sinking. You push it out at least, go slow. Okay, let's go again a little bit. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's try again, because it will jump over the thing. I can kind of see it if I come sideways like that, guys, if it's in or not. So now, guys, for every 2 revolutions of the crankshaft, the camshafts do 1 revolution. That's a 4-stroke engine. So there are 2 possibilities for the crankshaft. Even though you're at TDC pin, okay, you need to bring your camshafts, that's the wrong position. Those dots need to point to the right. So in that case, okay, because that's the 2 that will be holding it, you can see they're completely 180 degrees. If that's the case, what you need to do, go underneath, and we're going to do 1 more revolution. Okay, I'm going to get under the car, give me a second. 1 more revolution, and we're going to get the TDC pin in. Okay, and I will show you after that, guys. So I'll pull the pin out. Okay, let's do 1 revolution. You're going to see, okay, the TDC hole in a little bit. Don't confuse it, there is 2 more holes similar like that, balancing holes, but the one that we need, okay, slow now. Oh, right there, that's the one that we need. It has kind of like a bump. So sometimes, okay, your pin can get stuck on the bolts. So what I'll recommend, okay, on the flywheel bolts, if you come here with a small light, you can actually see when the TDC pin goes in the hole. So I'll pull it out a little bit until we jump the bolt. Okay, let's check now. Okay, let's try now. Are we in? Yep. No, let's try again. Oh, I got on the bolt. So okay, let me just position it to make sure I'm 100% sure before we continue. So if you get a light in an angle here, you can kind of see when the pin goes in the hole. Make sure that the pin is not holding actually on the flywheel bolt, because it can get stuck and you can get confused. So always make sure you cannot go left or right, clockwise and counterclockwise, to make sure that everything's good, guys. And now we can continue with the next step. So next step, guys, okay, we need to remove that that oil line here. Okay, we need to get it out, 11 millimeter socket, because it will be in the way. We don't want to damage anything, we don't want to break anything as well. Alright, the body is coming out. That's the line. It has a few holders here. Let's make sure we don't have a washer or anything. Okay, 1 here and 1 towards the back. Okay, You can see towards the back. Okay, over there is one more metal clip that holds that line in place. Perfect, and we got it out, guys. Okay, you can see just like that. Now we can continue with the next step. We are at TDC. You can see now our camshafts are pointing, you can see kind of like to the right. That's how they should be. If the holes are pointing down to the left 180 degrees from that, it means you need to do one more revolution on your crankshaft. You have to make sure that the flat spots, okay, on the camshafts are vertical. That's very important. And now we can continue with the next step. So now we're going to get the camshaft holding tool, guys. Okay, we're going to remove these bolts, okay, that hold the camshafts in place. Those are very important bolts. Don't forget to install them, otherwise the tool can break practically while you're getting things tight. Perfect. Now another thing, guys, if you look at it this way, okay, if you look at it this way, we cannot just go ahead and install it in most cases. What we'll have to do now, okay, we need to remove, okay, we will need to remove, let me see which one is which. Still, we need to take it apart, guys, I think. Let me check and see. So we can get it in, or it's gonna go in like that. Okay, so just wiggle it a little bit. Okay, because probably the camshafts needs to move by here just a little bit. Practically we're almost all the way down. Okay, what we have to do now, guys, okay, let's see on this side how much we're up, okay, to see if we have enough room here. Let me see how it looks now. Okay, let me come on this side. Okay, you can see we're contacting here. On the other side we're flat as well. Now there is, guys, two bolts that we need to install, one here and one, okay, over there. So those bolts, now that's the long bolt here. This is going right there, alright? You can see, start it at least 6-7 revolutions that way, okay? That way you're not going to strip the thread if you try to pull it or something. And later we're going to get everything tight. Okay, so we're going to install this one now. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see if it's going here. And we need to get those tight now. Okay, we're working on getting this tight now. Perfect, this one is almost tight. Very good too, guys, very good too. Now we need to get this one tight on the other side. Perfect. So guys, now we need to install one bolt that we have right here. So that metal shield needs to go out. Okay, we need to remove it. And this one has, I believe, okay, one bolt here, two. Okay, let me see, 3 bolts, guys, okay, that we need to remove. That's with reverse torque socket. You know, BMW likes to use the reverse torque socket. It's a small one. Okay, I believe, okay, it's quite small. So maybe it is this one. Okay, let me just double check that. Or it's the next size bigger. Okay, let me just again verify that and tell you which size exactly it is, so you know what to expect. Okay, it is this one, and it is E10, reverse torques number 10. So I'm going to go ahead and get it loose now. Okay, we have 3 of those, guys, not 1 but 3 of these bolts. Okay, let me see if I can remove that one by hand. Very hard, almost impossible. So you have to do it with the ratchet. Alright, this one is almost coming out. Perfect. The second one is right here. So get this one tight as well, and then after that we have one more. We will need to install the front two as well, guys. And the front two, there are some speculations, okay, that you can install it later. We will install everything at once. Everything needs to be tight, holding really good. That way we can get the crankshaft bolt loose, because otherwise, if you don't have the camshaft holder too, what will happen if you remove that crankshaft bolt, get it loose, it's not keyed. So what will happen actually, okay, it's going to, the whole timing chain can slip, and that can result into bent valves, guys. So, okay, removing the second bolt now, and after that we just have one more towards the back. We'll show you where it's located once we remove it. So the third bolt, practically we don't even need to remove it. We can pull that heat shield out and just go ahead, okay. And at that point, oh, let me see which one I got. Is it this one? Both of them are the same or not? Okay, one of them is longer, so I got the wrong one, guys. So let me pull that one out, or they're the same size. Let me see. Hope the same size, but it goes quite a bit in. Okay. So now I need to get the two in place. And I don't think this is the socket. This is not the socket. This is smaller socket. This is actually a 4. So the different size than the one on top that we already installed. This one is way smaller. So we need to go ahead and get the right two. You can see where the bolt is. Okay, right there. So just you can see where it's going in. It's going to screw on both sides, guys. At that point, we need to get a different two, because this one will not reach. We need to find one that's long, so it can reach, because otherwise it's not going to work. And we're going to install this one towards this side. This one is easier. But the one on the other side, we need to get a long hex key that we can install it with. So next, guys, okay, you can see it is here, and all I have to do, okay, with that longer one, okay, perfect, just like that. We're going to get the back one tight. Make sure we don't over tighten them, it just needs to be tight. Perfect, just like that. Next, guys, okay, that's where things get interesting. We need to install the front two now. This is our front two. The camshaft aligning tube. We need to install two bolts on it as well. So we're just getting this one tight now. Perfect. One on this side. Alright. So next, guys, we need to get the flywheel holder too. This is the flywheel holder too. We need to go underneath. I'll show you where. We need to go underneath, and that's when things get a little bit interesting, and I'll show you what is recommended to do, how you can do it, but it's a little bit, guys, okay, a little bit stressful situation. Always have to use that too, otherwise you're going to ruin your engine block. So we're getting underneath now. So let me show you where we need to go, guys. Okay, right there. Okay, under the car now. So that thing, okay, needs to come out, that cap. And this one's pretty tight, guys. You get the flywheel holder too. Okay. It's gonna go in here between the teeth. If you cannot get it in, what you need to do, we need to pre-loosen the two, and we need to get it tight here, guys. Okay, once we install it. So what I'm going to do now, okay, up, it got in. It got in, but it's not holding. Okay, it's not holding the flywheel. So what we need to do, I need to pre-loosen those. Okay, we need to slide it out all the way. Okay, and let me see now. Okay, like that. I can see it holding here in the flywheel. And now, at that point, we need to get it tight. So I'm going to go ahead, get these two. Let me see which one it is. Yep. Okay. Perfect. It's staying pretty good. What I recommend, have one person here to hold it, guys. Okay. Don't like let them pinch their fingers or something, just on top, not on the sides, but push it in, because sometimes you try to come out. Make sure the tool is all the way sticking on the side of the teeth. Okay, you can see the teeth for the flywheel right here, and I can see where the tool is. Otherwise, if you don't have that tool and you try to get the bolt loose, you're going to break your bolt where that pin goes. Okay, how we know that? Based on our experience, guys, we've done it. So you don't want that to happen, otherwise you have to repair your bolt or replace it. So we'll go ahead. Okay, we have one person holding it here, and then okay, we're going to continue, guys. Okay, with the next step, I'm going to put the jack stand just in case to support the engine and the transmission if something terribly happens, and we're going to get it loose now. So guys, we're underneath now. That's where you will need the special tool for the oil pump, guys, right? I'll put the link in the description of the video below. We made ours, our own. But if you have the special tool, guys, you will need to remove that bolt. You will need to remove the oil pump screen right here. Get that bolt loose, just pull it out. Then you will need to remove that cap. Okay, you're going to leak some oil out. A lot of oil. Too much oil, guys. It's everywhere. So let's go ahead, clean the mess, and we'll continue. So we already pre-loosened ours a little bit because it was super tight. One person had to be underneath, the other one take it off. But with the cheater pipe, guys, careful not to break your hoses. Just start getting it loose. Okay, until you reach the hoses there, you can see, otherwise you're going to break them. And one person has to be holding the tool underneath, okay? And you just keep getting it loose, guys. So I'll recommend, guys, to get the big tools in action. Okay, we have this one. This one is, okay, let me see, 1/2 to 3/4. So 3/4 bar, you can see, guys, heavy duty. That's the one that we use to pre-loosen it. And now we're just going to use the ratchet here, okay, to get the rest of it loose, and we'll continue. So we pre-loosen it, guys. Okay, now it's going by hand. We just have the ratchet here. Okay, perfect. You always have to use cheater pipes, okay, otherwise things are not gonna work out. Get that bolt loose. Okay, perfect. Coming out, guys. Coming out. Okay, you can see where it is. Now that bolt has to be replaced every time, guys. Every time you remove that bolt, you have to install a new one. We will have the link in the description of the video below where you can purchase one from. Pretty long bolt, that's what it is. We get it out, and we're gonna leak oil out, so I need to get a towel or something so I don't make a big mess. Next step, we'll need to get, okay, that one loose here. Okay, so I need to grab it with hands, or we can get a little bit of a screwdriver maybe. At that point, say, oh guys, we probably screwed up, so let me explain something. So now you can do it both ways, but in my opinion it will be better, guys. Okay, and that's how we did it on another one with no problems. Once you install all your tools and everything, okay, before starting to get the crankshaft bolt loose, remove the tensioner for the timing chain. That's why it's a good thing to watch the video until the end, guys, because sometimes, even though we work on those quite a bit, sometimes you get busy, you get distracted, and you tend to forget something. So I try to correct that as we go, so you know what to expect. So once you install the tools, remove the tensioner, timing chain tensioner, and you can go ahead and remove the crankshaft bolt after that. So what else we need to do next, guys? Okay, we need to remove a few caps. Okay, we have one here, we have one more inconvenient right there, just like this one. You can see where it is located, perfect, like that. Then we have this one, and we should have one more, okay, just on this side. I think three caps, I believe. So let's see which one we have now, which two. Okay, this one is 8. On wrench number 8. So you need to make sure you go all the way in, clean dust, oil if you have anything. Those will be tight, guys, super tight. I mean, extremely tight. You might need to get the big tool in action to get those loose. Otherwise, you may not be able to get it loose. So we'll get a 1/2 inch bar, and careful not to break a hose or something like that when you're trying to remove them. Okay, perfect. The moment you get it loose, they go super easy, and the two just came down. Now let me show you what we have here. Those are actually easy. We're gonna leak more oil out, so I'm gonna close that one fast, so we limit the amount of oil that's gonna leak out. Okay, so we're going to remove them in a little bit when we can actually catch all the oil. So let's go ahead. We're going to remove this cap now here, okay, and we'll show you what else we need to do. So now the next bolt, okay guys, right here, the next cap. Okay, this one's loose. Now we have one more on top that we need to remove right here. Alright, now let's see, guys. Okay, that's our neighbor. It's an awesome Subaru, loud, but sounds good. So we're going to remove these caps, and we have more okay, guides that we need to remove inside. You will see what I'm talking about. Those are just caps, so things get a little bit more complicated now. Okay, we're going to remove this one. Alright, perfect. Okay, great. Now, okay, looks good so far. Now we need to find another Allen wrench, and those are actually easy here. Those are easy to remove, but this one here, we need to find one that's actually deeper so we can get there and we don't drop that bolt. So that's where things get a little bit more complicated now. So we'll show you what we used for top, guys. It's Torx. Actually, it's Torx 40. So it's careful not to drop it because we had to improvise here. Okay. Now, that's where things get a little bit. Don't drop that bolt inside that guide. Okay, you can see the one that I'm removing. This is it, guys. Let's show you what we used. Okay, the device that we have here. Okay, so we have that guy. We use the Torx 40 star looking bit, 1/4 inch socket, and an extension for these ones. The ones on the bottom are actually pretty easy. Why? Due to the fact, guys, that they're actually with Torx 45 and they're shallow, So you can just go ahead and get them loose. The moment you get them loose, okay, they go by hand super easy. Okay, let's come a little bit this way. Alright, second one. Now we have, guys, okay, one more that we need to do. Yeah, that was tight. Okay, now we need to go ahead and remove that bottom here. Okay, it did come out. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now, guys, let me show you, okay, what else we need to do. You can actually see your timing chain and the gear there on the bottom. Okay, right there. That's your ring, front crankshaft seal ring, guys. Okay, that's preventing oil leaks on the front. So that will be the time to replace it now if you need to, because it can be easily done. So I recommend to replace the crankshaft seal as well, front crankshaft seal, and not to worry about it later. Now right here, guys, we're going to go ahead, okay, and remove the two nuts for the cam sprockets. Okay, camshaft sprocket. So let's see which two is here. Is that 24 or is the same 22 that we used? We're going to find out, okay, and see if we can go ahead and remove them. Make sure that these bolts are tight again when you do that. Okay, so 24 millimeter we'll be doing, and I think we have one deeper socket that we will try to find. It will be easier. Have everything tight, okay, everything on top tight. Make sure the camshaft holder too is tight, and we can continue with the next step. So 24 millimeter socket, the big two in action, guys. Okay, and let me come on this side and I'll get the cheater pipe somewhere, okay, right here on the bottom, and see if I will be able to easily remove it, because everything's so tight. Make sure it's all the way in. Support your two. This one's loose. One more. Okay. Okay, this one is loose as well, guys. Yeah. We can remove that two now. Okay, for the variable timing. We can go ahead, get it out. Okay, perfect. Have one more there, one bolt. We should be able to pull it out. Alright, awesome. We'll just leave it here because we'll be using it shortly again. Now we need to remove, guys, these two bolts, okay, over here. And once we remove these two bolts, I'll show you what else we need to do. Something very simple, and we should be able to have the timing chain, sprockets and everything out of there very, very soon. So let's see now. Okay, smaller two that we need, probably E8. We're going to check in a second and let you know. I can even see a piece missing out of the timing chain guide. My heart is skipping, guys. How lucky we are again. And the second one now. Perfect. Now go ahead, remove them without dropping them, guys. Don't drop them inside your engine, okay? very important. That's how long the bolt is. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead, remove the bolts. Okay, one of them is coming out. Some people recommend to install new bolts, some don't. In my opinion, always replace the crankshaft bolt for sure, guys. 100% sure that bolt needs to be new every time, otherwise you can break it in the crankshaft when you get it tight or not get tight enough, and your timing may slip and you're done. And those bolts, I'll recommend to replace them as well. I'll try to put the links in the description of the video below. Okay, part numbers, things like that, so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to show you what they look like, guys. So let's see now, okay, if we can pull that assembly out. So now, guys, these things, okay, need to gently come out, okay, and at the same time we're going to pull the timing chain with the tensioners, but ours everything fell apart, the wheel, everything came out. Now that guy needs to, that's the broken timing chain guide. Okay, one is still inside. That's where it broke. I will show you in a second. And I'm going to lift this one up, if somebody can catch it on the top. Okay, 1 second. No, not yet. Okay, second one. Let's see what broke and what we have here now. So let us show you the problem now, guys. Okay, even though 70,000 miles on that Beamer, okay, we're missing pieces on the bottom. One piece that's holding these two together. Okay, it's supposed to stay here, right? You can see it's missing the pieces, it's missing these pieces, it's missing here pieces, and it's broken on top where it's attaches to this one. So practically we were very short distance from blowing our engine. Probably have bent valves because the timing chain was going to jump once it breaks more. Often when it develops slack, it can break the one on top as well. That's what happened on the other one. Okay, let me show you here. Quite a bit of damage actually right here to the other one. It came in pieces all the way, and at that point you jump the timing chain, and you're super lucky if you're able to save your engine without putting new head or new valves in it, guys. So, and this is the whole new kit, guys. Right here you can see this is the new kit. You can see how the guides are together. That's how they should be. And there everything fell apart, nothing holding these two together. What broke on ours, these pieces, this piece right here, and the piece on top as well. Next thing is just going to explode, take this one out as well, and the only thing left will be this one. The chain will stretch and you're going to jump it and you're done, guys. That's how we remove the chain. Okay, now that's the removal video. Part 2 will be installation. Okay, we'll have it on the channel, check it out. BMW F30 timing chain installation. I'll try to put the link in the description of the video below, but if not, find it. It will be the same title, but it will be called installation. Okay, and you will see, guys, how we're going to put it together. But you can see that's what came out of there now. Pretty bad, pretty disappointed, because this original chain guide, okay, the car is 2013 model, made in October 2012, and if you look on the guide, the date right here, it says 12 October 12, original BMW part that failed. And I think there is a lawsuit now going on, something with BMW because of that. Certain years are not affected, only the early N20 N26 engines, and we have a special video that explains which ones are affected. So I will put the link in the description of the video below, guys. Please check it out. So thank you for watching, and next video we'll be putting it together.